Alright, it's your man Concrete, your Boldy James, 227, and you're not checking out RETV. Where we at with it? None before me, none to come. I'm 101. There's only one. Yeah, I'ma shout this one out to all the Detroit artists before me and Sean and Danny. You know what I mean? Everybody that's moving forward in hip hop and music. You know what I'm saying? As far as Detroit is concerned, we gotta shout out of course Boss, Detroit's Most Wanted, Chaos and Maestro, Eshawn, Eminem, Proof, the whole D12, the Blade, Ice Woods, the Street Lord Ones, Tone Tones, the Stretch Moneys, Free My Guy Lethal, Cosa Nostra, Mike back home, Trick Trick, the Goon Squad, the Bully Boys, the Cheddar Boys, Slum Village, Jay Dilla, of course, living legend, in hip hop for sure. Now he made a huge mark in hip hop for Detroit, if nobody did, you know what I mean?
Ran it up and I blew it. Put a 1 on the 126, finna 252 it. Pulling up in my Buick. 454 bit blocking on the open road, no pit stopping. No, this ain't my first rodeo, no a like me, I been popping.
Everybody chasing the bounce because the game is it's more so like catered towards the party scene. So you gotta make bounce records that people can dance and have fun to. So, like I was telling, the guy from my last interview, the game just getting more colorful. Like just so happened I got on black and white, but like a black and white style like mine, I had to geek it up a little bit so it'll be a little more colorful, cause I'm a lot more bland than a lot of people. I'm not as hyper and as animated as most artists are who, making noise as far as on the charts.
Gotta get a judge, do it. If I'm a shit, I'ma do it. Gotta get a judge, do it. I did it, I done it, I got it, I had it, I get it. I run it up, I stack it. I'm in a whole nother bracket.
Detroit a bunch of suckers, man. Like, 1 minute, they trying to outcast somebody like Sean, talking about he not from the hood, and, he don't nobody from the D, so we ain't with him. When he come around here, we gonna run him from the crib and all that, to, him, signing to Kanye. And now because Kanye's so big, everybody accepted Sean. But Sean was making good music, period, you know what I mean? So even before he was signed to good music, he always made good music. Like, to me, he always been talented. I heard a lot of his works before he made it because he used to record in the studio that my man used to own downtown. Free Street Lord One, but a lot of people help people along their way, and then the people make it, forget about them, all type, you know what I mean? But I just said that to say this. Then Sean, he makes it. Now he's so accepted at the crib, but when he come home, everybody, ride his jock on because he got a show and they all trying to get in free and perform and be a part of what he doing so they could steal some of his light and possibly, maybe it'll shine on them is what they think. But I just remember everybody hating on him, and I even get caught up in it sometime until I really get to thinking about it. Don't nobody owe me no explanations or nothing for nothing they doing. So I just respect it. I'm glad he ain't caught up in the street like everybody else, and he doing, what his calling was, you know what I mean?
Had to stop so I could preach like Reverend. I grip on the handbrake and say, what up? I skip on the handshakes, I'm straight. What else?
Well, shout out to the cool kids. Chuck English, Mikey Rocks. My little cousin, he from Mount Clemens, Michigan. Born in Detroit, raised in Mount Clemens. And him and his little brother Justin, those my little cousins. So, I was honored to be able to raise them two cats. You know what I mean? Like, I influenced them a lot, not knowing it. Just growing up, being the type of person I was, as a kid, it influenced them to get into a lot of things that they probably wouldn't have never, focused their sights on if they wouldn't have seen me into it. So Chuck, he remember I used to rap and, you know what I'm saying? I guess I was kind of a mischievous child, you know. I'm not knowing, you know what I'm saying, what direction this cool kid thing is taking off and, you know what I'm saying, into because I'm so into other, so every time I get in trouble and I be on the run or just, ducking off from the police trying to cool off and shit, I go out there with Chuck. And one time I went out there and I just seen, he had a studio hooked up in his room, and so I went out there to record some music, and I did like 18 songs in 4 days. Then I came back to the house. When I went back to the crib, I was playing all the new music for the people, most of it was produced by Chuck. They was burning around the world at the time, and Chuck was like involving me in little stuff they'll do here and there, so it was helping me create an internet buzz.
100 bottles last week, that's a true story. Riding around in my Jeep with 240s. Cashed out a half key, cause I'm in the jury. Just took a loss for 15, whole nother story. Hey yo, it's like this, man. Hey yo, when it come to...
So we went to South by Southwest, and Chuck introduced me to Alchemist. But he had told me that Alchemist wanted to work with me prior to, but he had never told me that Alchemist told him that he wanted to work with me. You know what I mean? I thought Chuck tried to force him on me. You know what I mean? So when I met him at South Bay, he like, yo, you need to come out to Cali so we can work. So I didn't think he was serious at the time, because a lot of lie and pop off and rap, you feel me? But he was, so like I said, another incident had happened. So I'm like, I gotta get the fuck out of here anyway. So I went out to Cali, and we was doing a couple Alchemist joints, and that was just supposed to be a mixtape, but I ended up getting a decon deal out of the Alchemist situation, and that's how my Mass Appeal situation presented itself. So
Gotta get a check, just do it, do it, do it.